And welcome to the J Train Podcast. This is J Train Jared Freid coming to you live from the temporary quarantine cabin in Connecticut. I am taping at Mohegan Sun while I have some shows here this weekend. It's been nice to see some of the podcast fans out and about. Great to be here. Socially distanced shows, of course. Thank you for listening. Thank you for telling a friend. That's how this whole thing works. You send in your emails. We answer the emails as funny and as poignantly as we can. And you tell a friend, a coworker, a brother, a sister, a mama, a papa. Keep letting people know. Very excited. Today's guest, this is a very special J-Train podcast. We're getting the crew back together. Very special guest. The producer extraordinaire of the J-Train podcast, Shelby Royston. Thank you for coming on, Shelby.
Back at it once again. Back together.
The boys are back in town.
The fellas doing it up once again.
Finally. And listen.
After months.
It's been a long time. Your hair is growing in fantastically, I should add.
I disagree.
You disagree? I'm looking at you, and if you're on YouTube, you can see it. Shelby, you're like, it's like you should be in a boy band. This is like you have the swoop going on, the southern swoop.
It's Harry Styles-esque.
I would agree.
It's what do they say? The blank, and then the person, you know, like the budget Harry Styles. The dollar store Harry Styles.
The poor man's Harry Styles.
Right.
That's how I would, yeah.
The homeless man's Harry Styles.
I would say, listen, to me, you're the rich man's Harry Styles. You're the...
Thank you.
I'm liking the look. I'm liking the feathered hair. It's a good look for you. It's been so long.
It has.
Since we have done the podcast together that we have so many new listeners. They don't even... Thousands. It goes up like crazy every week. But they don't even know when I say... When we were doing the Freid by Noon episodes, and I was like, hit the music, Shelby. They didn't know... There are people out there that don't know who Shelby is.
It's been decades, it seems.
It feels like the world keeps moving.
Moving, grooving, dying, you know, I understand their plight, though.
Yeah, listen, so I want to let people know, for those of you that don't, his Instagram is @ClassicShelb. Go follow Shelby. He's an amazing photographer. He puts you're the one you're in the back office putting this whole thing together every Monday and Thursday.
Cutting, slicing, inserting, making sure it's in your phone and or YouTube.
That's right. And Shelby is tireless, and I can't thank you enough for all the work, because we've put out a lot of content.
An endless amount.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, the amount that we're putting out is like insanity.
More than most.
And that's why people here need to join the Patreon. That's where you give us a great thank you, because Shelby's involved with the Patreon too. We are, partners in this journey.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, you like what's going on now, you'll like what's on the Patreon even more.
Patreon.com/Jared Freid. Patreon.com/Jared Freid. And there's different levels. $5 gets you 3 additional podcasts a week. For $15, you can get your advice question answered within the week. I get back to everyone who messages me at the $15 level. And for $50, you can get a dating app makeover, which is, the gift that keeps on giving, because once you get it, you can opt out and go back down to $5, and now you get the podcast and you got your brand new makeover.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
That's right. So, Shelby, give us the update, because I get a lot of emails. Get Classic Shelb on the air. How have you quarantined? What's going on? I know you're busy with the work that we're doing. What's happening with you?
Same as always, wildin' and styling.
Yeah.
Just going, I'll say a max 3 blocks from my residence.
You have been, it seems that you, from what I see on social media, you've really kept it, like you're staying in.
Well, I had like the regular flu in, what was it, February.
So I remember this.
2,
when you were
3 weeks before.
You were sick. You're probably the first one that I'd ever, like before this started, you did go to the hospital because you were sick.
Went to the ER, was just laying there all day, and then they did the normal flu test where they shoved the thing up your nose. Maybe that's the same as the COVID. Maybe they shove it a little farther during the COVID. I don't know.
Up and to the left is for COVID. Up and to the right is for the flu.
They curve it a skosh, but they were like, "You got the flu." I was like, they put me in a room. If I had to like leave to go to the bathroom, I had to wear a mask. The nurse was wearing a mask, but this was before the everybody mask.
This was before everything. I remember.
This was before you were doing jokes about like Wuhan, which we haven't even heard of. Yeah. So now I'm like, if I was that sick for the regular flu, I don't want to get. I'm a goner if I get COVID.
And listen, we can't have that happen. The J Train podcast.
I don't have time for ventilators.
No, we both don't have time for you. I can get sick. You cannot. We need these things. There's too much going on, and I do remember that. And I remember thinking to myself,
I'm an essential worker. I'm a nurse. I'm basically a nurse.
I say that to people. I'm like, Shelby's as essential as anyone out there. And without you, the tires come off of this podcast. But I do remember when you went to the hospital, I even thought to myself, I was like, I've never even heard of someone going to the hospital for the flu. And you were like, yeah, this was like an event. And then all these other things happen. And I've thought about that because it was you were almost ahead of our time.
I'm like David Bowie as it comes to like the being sick.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I refer to you. Now, Shelby, are you? You're a single guy. Are you dating in quarantine? What are you talking to anybody? What's going on personally?
People text. You DM, but I'm certainly not putting flesh to flesh, coffee to coffee.
Yeah, I hear you.
Nothing like that. Yeah.
Okay. So, and everything else is fine. Are you? How is? You're alone. So how has that been? Is it lonely? Are you okay with it? Do you have enough work that it's been a little bit easier?
I mean, luckily, I'm like making more money than before. It's tough to say, but you work to. You have your passive income, your regular income, and luckily I'm still employed,
Well,
Better to say than most.
It is interesting that, like, right around now, everyone's like, in the land of, of everyone at home, the man who can produce a podcast is king. I feel like, hey, I've, Maybe in the back of my mind, I saw something coming years ago. Yeah, well, that is. Yeah, because how they're like now everyone's starting their own thing or trying to figure out a way, and you can help people put that together.
They're like, oh, do I get a USB mic? Oh, I have this green screen. I'm like, no. Just use this blankety blank. Use this, and we'll all splice it together. Oh, do we need to all clap at the same time to know when you
It is funny that like you were almost like, and I've said this on past podcasts, but like it's like Mr. Miyagi telling Daniel-san to like wax on, wax off. You've been waxing off, and then all of a sudden a pandemic hits and you're like, oh my God, I know how to do karate.
It's a fake job though. It's easy. Like I fell asleep on a Zoom call with Joe Buck the other day.
Okay. Name drop.
I mean, just to hammer it home, and then the guy was texting me at the end like, "Are you still on?" And I like woke up like, "Oh, well, I'm converting the audio," and he was like, "Oh, thanks for putting this together. I appreciate it."
Well, because and it is one of those things where if you don't know how to do it, just having it's the definition of knowledge is power. You have this knowledge that like, okay, if you can, I need someone who can help me with a podcast. I need someone who can help with production. And that guy's like, "Did you fall asleep?" And you're like, "Yeah, but I'm the only one who knows how to fucking do this." So
well, they don't know how to. I don't know how to do stand up. You don't know what I do to edit. So we're both, in the weeds.
And that's why we've come together to create the powerhouse that we have created with the J-Train podcast, as well as the Patreon, which Shelby is a part of. So any of you out there, if you want to find a way to support this show, patreon.com/Jared Freid. We got many more podcasts on there. What I thought would be fun is if you and I did some charcuterie chat together. I
love it.
Awesome. I've collected a bunch of charcuteries that have been sent to me or Instagram accounts, and I've kind of held back. I've collected nuts, for the winter, so that for now we can go off on these boards. So let's start with this. It's from Flat Lay Today. Flat Lay Today. That's the Instagram account. Shelby,
correct.
You're looking at it as well, right?
I am.
This and it says summer cheese board goals right there, and I would say this is the opposite of goals.
Right off the bat, what seems to be taking up like a fourth of the board, some type of gourd. I know you have a problem with that.
I have a huge problem with I think it's a summer squash. And the insanity of this, and this is like and if we're showing it has a summer squash, it's got some grilled zucchini, it's got some crackers that don't look big enough for what's going on the plate. I like the salami. The cheese are fine. There's some candied walnuts, meat on the side, and then hummus just splattered on the thing. This is the board that bothers me to the core, because I don't know how the fuck are you eating the summer squash? How is that? And all it is at that point, it's an ornament. It's not edible, right?
It's like a carnival, county fair size squash.
Yeah.
Like this would win an award for the size alone.
But you know what it's not winning award for? Delicious, because you can't even eat it. How at a party? Let's say you and I were at the party and we go to the charcuterie. We go, "Oh, what do we have here?" And then you'd go and we look at it. How are we eating it? With a drink in one hand and with one hand to eat. How are you doing that? Nobody would be touching it. As that section of the night goes on, you'd see it being like congealed. Yes,
it's not in the fridge on the side.
And
I have a problem with the zucchini myself.
Why is that?
The word grilled. The whole point is you guys. I don't even fire up that stove until you guys are noshing on the charcuterie, and then I'm making the main dish for the night. I'm already firing this up and grilling it. I don't agree.
It doesn't go with the schedule of events. I totally agree. And also, you want that later. Like I have a problem. What they do with this grilled zucchini is they put it out and then it's cold, and so you kind of taste the grill marks, but then you're like, wait a minute, it's cold. This doesn't even make sense. This doesn't even go with anything. And zucchini's a little bit tasteless when it's left out like that.
Mm-hmm. And I don't like that there's a hand picking up the cracker. Like, yeah. I can do the math. I know how to pick stuff. I get that you're dipping. I don't
It's almost like they put the hand there to show us that the cracker isn't big enough for anything else on the plate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what would you take that cracker and then dig it into the summer squash? Is that how it would work? There's not even utensils to cut up the summer squash. What's that?
I wouldn't.
I'm not doing that.
Maybe they expect people to.
Well, would you put down your drink and then hold the summer squash and then dig into it with your other hand? Would you have to hold it down to keep you in line? It makes absolutely no sense. And it kind of shows you this person put that there for a picture. They put it there to pop on Instagram, not to make anyone at the party, more satiated.
The squash would exist in what I'd consider a perfect world where I had 2 extra arms, which I would like.
All of us would like. Let's go to the next one. It is from the Instagram account called Easy and Delicious, or it's called Dash of Mandy. Are you looking at that? Here. Dash of Mandy. Do you have it?
This was the first one.
It's the second one in that email I forwarded you. There were 3. Now, Dash of Mandy posts a picture of a pizza.
Right.
And I'm looking at the pizza. And the pizza, if I was served this pizza, I'd go, oh, definitely. Want to try it. Looks delicious. But then when she writes, it's a charcuterie pizza. Okay, that to me is a meat lover's pizza. That charcuterie pizza doesn't exist.
No.
You're serving us a lie. You're serving us a lifestyle that doesn't exist. Charcuterie pizza, that is, and here's the thing. Charcuterie pizza sounds better than meat lovers. Meat lovers, when you say, oh, I made everyone a meat lover's pizza, now you're a disgusting pig with a shirt that doesn't fit and grease stains all over you and sweatpants. Like it is a different marketing campaign. Charcuterie pizzas, wine, and we're sitting out and it's on a board. And right, Shelb, do you agree?
When I'm opening up the Pizza Hut app, regretfully, I want to click. I click meat lovers. I order it, but I'm like, I feel, oh, the delivery guy's gonna judge me. Like,
there's shame involved with the meat lovers pizza. And
okay, when caveman. Like,
okay, you fucking football loving idiot. Meat lovers pizza. No Dash of Mandy isn't serving that at her Austin, Texas party with mason jars for glasses. No. She's serving us a charcuterie pizza, and we're all having white wine, and it pairs well. A meat lover's pizza pairs well with Bud Light and Miller. A charcuterie pizza, and it came, and I topped it with TJ's fig butter. You can find this at a lot of grocery stores, though. Goat cheese, mozzarella, olives, prosciutto, and a drizzle of honey. No, this is garbage pizza. This is a garbage serve. If it was served by anyone else, it would be a disgusting trash pile on top of a pizza.
I heard you say fig butter, and I'm already done. Like,
yeah.
You heard about fig butter. You didn't. You don't want this on there.
You don't want it on your pizza. If someone said to you, "Hey, Shelby, do you want a fig butter pizza?"
It kind of goes along with Korean barbecue and red pandas, 2 things that did not exist 5 years ago.
Yeah. This is the thing, is like, this is all a marketing campaign. Right. This is all, instead of calling it meat lovers pizza, you called it charcuterie pizza. Instead of saying, I took a bunch of shit from the fridge and I put it on a pizza, you're saying it's a charcuterie pizza. This is all about convincing people that you're fancier than the reality.
Everything in a restaurant has truffles on it. I guess everything in a at-home charcuterie has fig butter on it.
Let's go to the next one. I was sent this one, and I get sent a lot of DMs, and I'll like a lot of DMs. I just like it just to acknowledge, hey, I'm here, I'm listening, thank you for sending. That's why I like. This person sent me, LMAO, you still haven't roasted my charcuterie. It must mean it's perfect. Now, when we post this, we have to take her name out and all this stuff, but we should keep her message to me, because now let's look at her charcuterie. She said it must mean it's perfect. Are you looking at it?
I believe so, yeah.
Now, if we're looking at this table, we have a crudité that is packaged from the local ShopRite. We have sliced cucumbers with some wheat thins and some wafer crackers. And then we have like a fruit plate with cashews on it. And there's a fine enough cheese board, cheese and meat section. And then she's got like the bread with the cheese mix with the spinach and artichoke type of looking thing. Here's what this is. It's not perfect. It's nothing. It's nothing. I am not going home from the party and telling people about this charcuterie, right?
Right. Like it's like when when you're on like some type of talent reality show and they get to the judges and you're like, you've made it this far.
Yeah.
You're not going to win by playing it safe.
You couldn't be more right. This is playing it safe. This is a personality-less board. And that's the thing. That's the problem with charcuterie and why it's a metaphor for a lot of things that are going on in the world right now. The metaphor is that sometimes you just did enough. Sometimes you just got people by. If I was at a party with this out, I would go, yeah, I would come home from the party. I'd be like, yeah, they put out a few things in the beginning and then dinner was fine. And you better hope that the company's good, because the food ain't going to be the thing that you're going to go home bragging about. So while you put this out, is it good? It's fine. Most of life is fine. They're not great. They're not bad. So when someone writes me, how come you haven't roasted me yet? There's nothing to roast. There's nothing to talk about. This is just an okay spread.
At least with a roast, we could have had a laugh.
That's right. And here's the other thing. If I leave a show and someone says to me, oh, you were on the show? I don't go to them, yeah, I'm the one who did this joke, and you remember my other jokes? Just them saying, oh, you were on the show means I wasn't good enough. That means I wasn't great.
You're doing your own self-reflection.
That's right. That's me to deal with it. That's not their problem. I didn't entertain it enough. Let's go to another one. And all of you can watch these on YouTube. We've put them all on YouTube for all of you to check out. And go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel. Let's go to this one. I forwarded it to you. It's we're going in reverse order. So let's go reverse. And this is a charcuterie from. Okay, this is a charcuterie bouquet. Are you looking at it? From Megan It Up at Megan It Up. Are we looking at it right now?
We are.
Now, what are your feelings on this, Shelby? The charcuterie bouquet.
I'd like to hear yours. I mean, I'm getting a lot of thoughts first.
So, we don't need the plants in there. Like I understand that you're going to the end of the metaphor. You're going to the end of the bouquet theme. I don't need plants in my way while I'm trying to pick at I actually like the idea of a bouquet, because at least when you walk into the party, everyone gets their own. You've made decisions. There's a finite amount of space. So you could be like, here's your bouquet, Shelby, and then you'd take it and you'd get to dig in, and then you could throw it away when you're done. Now this is good for a COVID world. This is good for a world that involves a pandemic. This is actually a solution-based attempt. But
What?
when you put a full tree in there, that gets in my way. Now I'm carrying. I don't want extra things to be carried around. I also don't think there's a reason to put the jam in there. You're going to put a jam with spoon? The charcuterie bouquet should be all about mobility. And when you put a plant and you put a spoon and you put a little, cauldron of mustard, you've made that impossible for me, right?
I'd be going, what do we do I hold this the whole night? Why did we come to this?
I know.
These are your friends.
You're right.
This doesn't, to me, this is not charcuterie. This is a gyro, or as they say in my neighborhood, a gyro.
A gyro, yes. I agree with you.
Is that some thick bread in the back, or what is that? A plantain?
Yeah, I don't know how you're doing this. It is. Here's the thing. If you're gonna have charcuterie bouquet, the reason to have it is that everyone gets their own and that you can be mobile. And this one doesn't achieve any of those. Again, this is the problem with charcuterie. Are you doing it for an Instagram post or are you doing it for the people at the party? This was done for a post. This wasn't done for us to go to the party and then walk around with it. Like if it was for us, it would have a bunch of different, it wouldn't have a loaf of bread, it wouldn't have the fig jam, it wouldn't have the plant in there. It would be enough that you could hold in one hand and eat it like it was a popcorn at the ball game.
It looks like something like if you were moving in someplace, or like you're helping a friend move, and they were like approaching their house holding this, they would like hand it to you at the door while they got their keys out to open the place.
Absolutely. We are sponsored, people. FabFitFun, FabFitFun, FabFitFun. Woo! People. I love FabFitFun. It's a seasonal box that offers you so many great products that are full-size, beauty, healthcare, fitness products that are going to improve your life. Listen, I'm not a FabFitFun user. My girlfriend is. Jess gets the box, and here's what they've changed. They've made a little change up. You can customize. Jess, what did you get in your box this time around? Stress hair oil. Jess did you love it? Love it. What do you love about it? It smells like honeysuckle, and it helps your hair. And it helps her hair, and she's using it as a perfume. Here's the thing. Jess is using the stress hair oil as a perfume. It's a part of her life. That's what I love about it. This takes out all of the guilt and anxiety of spending money on things that you might think aren't important, but they are. And you're sending yourself a great gift. Once every few months, you get a box to go through and you get to feel like it's Christmas morning. That's an amazing feeling. And right now, we don't get to walk through stores. We don't get to browse. We don't get to try things in Sephora. This is a great opportunity to do yourself a mental and physical favor. Jess loves the hair oil. She puts it on her body. She smells like honeysuckle. I didn't even know how much I loved honeysuckle until she started using it. But I'm going to tell you right now, it is very nice that FabFitFun gives us the opportunity to enrich our lives without feeling the guilt of, do I deserve it? Should I buy this thing? That's the thing. They're going to give you a box of, and it comes with, you can customize it 189,000 different ways. So there's going to be a product for you. And you're going to find something in there that you might have not gotten. And that's a beautiful thing. And you're going to get $10 off. I'm going to give you $10 off of a box that's worth over $200. It's time to customize your box for the fall season. Sign up today, receive your first box, and join a community of over 1 million women who are already obsessed. Use coupon code JTRAIN, that's JTRAIN, for $10 off your first box at fabfitfun.com. That's fabfitfun.com. Use coupon code JTRAIN for $10 off. What I would encourage you to do, go to the site. See what you like. Do your customization and then sit with it for a second and go, and then you're going to pull the trigger. Then you're going to put in code JTRAIN and get $10 off. I'm telling you right now, I love what FabFitFun does because it honestly lets us treat ourselves. And all of us deserve it. You deserve it. I deserve it. Jess deserves it. Your mom deserves it. Your brother deserves it. Your papa, your grandma. This is the gift that keeps on giving, because what you do is now you find one product in this box, and it's full size, no sample sizes, full size product that you're going to go, oh my God, I'm a honeysuckle woman. I had no idea. Fabfitfun.com, promo code JTrain for $10 off your first box. Go. We are sponsored, people. The J-Train podcast is brought to you by Noom. Getting in shape isn't just about losing weight. It's about learning healthier habits and feeling better about yourself. Maybe it's getting into your goal genes, having more stamina, or just treating yourself better. What if you could use one app for all of that? No more hunting for training apps, workouts, or calorie trackers. There is a new app called Noom, N-O-O-M, that will help you develop a healthy lifestyle for years to come. The whole thing is about learning, not dieting. They want you to build better habits. I will say this. I use the calorie tracker all week. I am better for it. I'm telling you that right now. I use the Noom calorie tracker all week. It keeps you in touch with what you're doing. It makes you more, and I hate this word, but it is true. It makes you more mindful. And you know what it does? You know what I love about the Noom calorie tracker? I'll be completely honest, okay? I've been using it all week. I've had a great week. You did it, Jared. You fucking did it. You had a great week of eating. You deserve it. I had a great week of eating. Great week. I had my breakfast, I had my lunch, I had my dinner. I didn't go above my calories that I wanted to go into. I was in the right zone. And you know what? Let me hold on. Let me clap it up for J-Train. You did it, buddy. Here's the amazing part about a calorie tracker. Had a great week. Jess and I, Friday night, we got fucked up. We drank a bunch of alcohol. I woke up Saturday morning hung over. We went to our favorite bagel place, and we got bagels and bacon, egg, and cheeses, and we did a little bagel buffet amongst the both of us. We ate them, and we got directly back into bed. You know what I did later that day? I was feeling badly. I'm like, damn it, you had this great week. Why? And then you ruined it with the bagels. Then I put the bagels into the calorie tracker. I did it. I climbed the mountain of self-doubt. I climbed the mountain of feeling badly. And I put the bagels, bacon, egg, and cheese. I put it in there. I put in my breakfast. I put in bacon, egg, and cheese on an everything whole wheat bagel. And I put everything whole wheat bagel with chives. Yeah, I had 2 bagels. I'll admit it to you during the Noom read. But that's the point. The minute I put it in there, I was like, wow. You know what? It wasn't 10,000 calories. It wasn't 5,000 calories. The day isn't over. Life will go on. And I think that's what Noom's all about. Life will go on. It's about being accountable, being like, yeah, I had that. I felt it. It was delicious. Okay, dinner's going to be different than breakfast. And that's what Noom's about, being a little bit more in touch with what you're doing. And it's scary. I'm with you. I'm scared. Every night I stay up thinking, what am I going to eat tomorrow? I'm that person. I'm with you. But that's the whole point. The minute I put bacon, egg, and cheese on an everything bagel and everything bagel with chive cheese into the fucking calculator, I was freed. I felt good. Later that night for dinner, I had a little bit of a more sensible dinner, and then I woke up the next day feeling great. So on the Noom app, you can get tailored lessons, log your food you eat, and learn a new lifestyle. I think it's just about checking in with yourself. And Noom has many different ways to do it. You can do it through learning through the app or calorie tracking or doing workouts with them. It's just, and they kind of live by the motto, no food is good or bad. Noom teaches you moderation. Noom takes a human approach. There's no judgment. It's all about staying mindful and doing what you can every day. At Noom, small steps lead to big progress. Sign up for your trial today at Noom, Noom.com/JTrain. What do you have to lose? Visit Noom.com/JTrain to start your trial today. Again, that's Noom.com/JTrain, Noom.com/JTrain, Noom.com/JTrain. Start losing weight for good. Let's go to the next one. This is from Food and Wine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is a bike that is now being sold. That is a built-in. This bike has a built-in wine cooler and charcuterie board. Seriously. And the bike, and you can buy one for $8.99. So the whole idea is that there's this bike that you can, and I'll read a little bit of it. These are a few of our favorite things. So when we heard about a new product that allows us to combine all those into one, and just for $8.99, no joke, we could barely contain our excitement. In honor of a holiday we can definitely get behind, National Wine and Cheese Day on Saturday, July 25th, Movo Wine Spritzers is selling just 4 Wine Cruiser bikes to celebrate the launch of their new line of canned wine wine spritzers. Each bike comes with a back cooler to hold your beverage of choice, a between-wheel bonus can cooler, plus a fold-out charcuterie board with a utensil holder. The deal is just too Gouda. Okay, I hate myself for reading that. Shelby, what do you think of this bike? Is it usable? Would you ride around on this with a charcuterie board attached to the bike?
I don't know how to ride a bike.
You don't?
When I was younger, I was learning. I was going around like a elementary school track and went down a big hill right into like the biggest thing of like sticker prickly bushes you've ever seen.
Okay.
So I think I'm done here.
So from then on, you were like, no bike for me.
I'm good. I like my feet perfectly fine. I like a nice skateboard. That'll be good for me.
Shelby, we learn more about you every episode of this podcast. Also, a life fraught with calamity. You had the slip on the rocks, the bike incident in your childhood. This is a lot of accidents.
Have you seen those? Also, those. It looks like a giant food cart, but there's bike seats around it. It's like a drinking. This kind of reminds me of that. Like, we can't just go to a bar. They
have that in like Nashville, where it'll be like 10 girls all on this pedal bike bar. And yeah, this does ring to that. Like, to me, if I saw a woman with this, I would understand it. It seems less like invasive. If there was a guy just driving around the park with his wine bike with charcuterie in it, it would be the equivalent of like getting a puppy. Like, this kind of feels like you're trying too hard, that you must be a problematic person. Like,
at least with a puppy, I can have fun with that myself. Like, what is this? I'm going to eat this all myself? No, you have some ulterior motives there.
This is what it feels like. Like if I rode up and I was like, oh, hello, everybody. I have some wine just put away. I'd be like, what, Jared, have you lost your mind? What are you trying to do here? What do you, excuse me, sir. What is your end game here? You don't just have wine and cheese just waiting for you in a bike. Like, and also, it kind of, like, if I'm going to have a bike, I'm using it to work out. I'm using it to get places. The idea that this is good. This is one of those ideas that, like, at first glance, you go, oh, wine in a cooler in the bike. And then you're like, damn it, I wish I didn't have this cooler on the bike. I just want to get somewhere. It's heavy to fucking drive around.
And things are just going to be falling off of it. Like, this is good in thought. You're just constantly going to be stopping every 30 yards going, oh, shit, fuck. Like,
exactly. And then you hear the cylinder rolling around, and you're like, and now you're the guy that's just giving, then some homeless guy comes over, picks up the wine, is like, it's mine now. Now you're in a fight. This is a disaster written all over it. Let's go to the next one. This is from Love Aesthetics, Love_Aesthetics. Now, this is a video. We're going to play the video. Now, this is a wine and cheese board that is all just shards of glass. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So basically, they've taken shards of glass and spread it around the table, and on top of it is each of the cheeses. At that point,
no.
At that point, what are we doing? What are we doing? Are we saying that anything can have cheese on it and anything goes? Am I gonna like break apart like what's next? Do I rip up bubble tape and I put it down from an Amazon package I received and put Gouda on top of that? Like, is that the next move? What are we, when does this look get ridiculous, right?
I mean, they could have improved it by getting better cheeses. One looks like a Swiss roll.
Yeah.
The other looks like imitation crab. One of them looks like a hunk of cooking chocolate. Like, at least cut it up. Maybe just visit your local grocery store. And where'd you even get this?
The biggest you're right, because the biggest problem that we both have is that this is all aesthetic, no delicious. This reminds me of someone who's like, I want my charcuterie, but I'm more of a modern charcuterie person. All of that, I don't really like. This is like they've taken their modern home and transplanted to the food that they're serving as well. Like to them, they'd be like, well, I don't really like the old looking Americana charcuterie. I want a more modern look. And it's like, man, their house, just by the look of this cheese, is probably the most uncomfortable house ever. It's probably couches that are all like oblong shaped and have no cushion on them, and you're just sitting on a piece of plastic like this, and you're just like, that's what this tells me about their house. Like, you're
as comfortable as you are saying the name of an item from IKEA.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every item in the house is just you. So like, I feel like you'd walk into this people's house and you'd be like, let's go sit in the living room. And they'd be like, yeah, it's right over there. And you go, do I just sit on this piece of broken glass? And they go, yeah, that's my couch.
Oh, I thought we were watching a game. Where's the TV? Oh, no, we manifest the game into your mind.
Yeah.
Like something stupid.
We actually have a new type of TV, and it's 3D, and they actually play around us, and Tupac plays in the game too. Yeah, it would be just, I would see that these people don't believe in comfort in anywhere in their life.
I'd rather lay in that hotel bed behind you.
Right? Let's go to the next one. Okay, we got another one here. Okay, this is, now I'm looking at it. It has blueberries. Now, these boards bother me. Are you looking at the same one as me? It is supposed to be the ocean. It is the beach and the ocean, and I don't know. They have Teddy Grahams inside of Lifesavers because they're in the water, and there's fish, and the water's blueberry, and there's orange slices. I don't know what the orange slice part of it, but the beach is graham cracker, and I don't understand who got anything out of this.
This is for a child.
It's for a child.
This is for a child to eat, and a parent bringing their child to the party to think it's nice.
Yeah, and I don't even think a child would get an enjoy. Like let's say a toddler, you show this to them and you go, look, it's the ocean with Teddy Grahams swimming in the ocean. And then they take their fist and dig it into it and not give a shit. And
it's going to be covered in those wet Cheerios that were already on the hand.
Yes.
By the end of the party.
Absolutely. And then it's like, so what's the goal here? What is the goal? For us to look at it once and go, can I eat this or not? And like, what are you going to eat? A graham cracker with blueberries? Is that what we're having for dinner?
I'm coming to your home. At my home, I already have goldfish and graham crackers. I don't have thinly sliced prosciutto. That's what you were supposed to prefer.
This is supposed to be a special event, and you served us the things that we would get from, a kid who's selling snacks for his baseball team.
No, it's late. I'm kind of hungry. What do we have? Oh, we have some grapes in the fridge, honey, if you want to have that. Like, I already have this stuff in my abode.
Yeah, I there's no need for it. And really what it is selfish. They're like, well, I want to put this up on Instagram, so I'll serve it to you. And now everyone walks away from the party hungry.
Congrats on the 50 likes.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one. And I'm looking at this one. And it's from Parisian Amour. Okay. Parisian Amour.
Mm-hmm.
Did they just put string cheese on their board?
It does look that way.
String cheese with coconut slices. There's a fork and knife. There's a pear off to the side. This is more art piece than it is delicious. Are you going to have coconut and olives? Is that the combination you're expecting us to have?
I think that's one of those CBD bottles on the side. Like, what is it? This is some weird minimalist thing.
It makes no sense to me. There's string cheese, there's coconut, there's pear, there's brie, and then I think another cheese. And it's like, how precious are people? Like, are we supposed to believe this is how this person lives their life? Are we supposed to believe that they lay in bed with their magazine open every day? What bothers me about social media a lot of times is that there's a lot not being said so that they don't have to lie. They're lying without saying the lie. When I see this, what they're saying is, oh, I just make a little board and I put it in my bed and this is how I eat for the day. And it's like, and this is what I do every day. And it's like, no. No one lives their life like this. No one lives their life.
The glass of water and the pear makes me think of those Sleep Number ads where they have the glass of wine on the end of the bed and somebody walks up to it and like, oh, look, it stays upright. Like, this is a mess waiting to happen. Yeah,
absolutely, because that even furthers my opinion that this is not real life. Like, no one lives this way. This is a picture that makes people... This is a picture that kind of tells people I've never farted. Like, that's kind of where they're putting out a version of themselves that is a no fart version when all of us are farting all the time. Let's go to the next one. Constantly. Let's do one more. Okay, we got one more. Okay. Now, it's 3 pictures.
Right.
It says, okay, Jared, rate my board. Keep in mind, I have more of everything, and this is only for 3 people. So then I wrote, your board is 1/3 grapes. You say you have more in the back. Well, get ready for a lot of cheese runs and not a lot of grape runs. That was my review. Now, this person writes me, I wrote, love grapes, 1/3 is too much. That was my review. They write back, gotta admit, I'm being a little stingy on the cheese because I'm saving some for another board tomorrow. This is what I'm talking about. This is why charcuterie is an important subject for us to discuss. They put out a board where it's like, look what I did for you, while half of it is in the fridge. They put 1/3 grapes on there to get you to eat grapes, to get rid of the grapes from their fridge. They're using you. They're using you to get rid of the grapes, and so that the tomorrow's board is better because they have better company tomorrow.
When I go to the fridge to get another White Claw, I'm going to open it and say, wait, why wasn't this set out?
Yeah, where's the rest of the food? I'm still hungry, and I'm sitting there doing fucking Caesar with you with the grapes instead of actually eating a real meal.
If these are those cotton candy grapes where they're never in stock, I'd understand. But these are just regular
old green and purple grapes. And the thing is, the admission to me is the important part. You've admitted to me that I am right about grapes at all times. It is a cheap filler. You're doing it because you have ulterior motives. The board isn't just the board. There's a lot more going on. There's a behind-the-scenes thing that we're not hearing about.
Grapes were impressive in Roman times where they would probably think, where did you even get these?
Sure.
But now I can get these anywhere.
So, Shelby, thank you for going through the charcuterie with me. I think that was, I think we did it. I think we we helped the people.
They learned a lot.
The J-Train podcast is brought to you by Brooklinen. Hear ye, listeners of the J-Train. You've probably heard me yammer on about Brooklinen before. They're the home of the internet's favorite sheets, but their towels, also amazing. They give your daily routines a little something extra with varying levels of plushness. The towels of your dreams is waiting to wrap you up in its big, soft, strong, plush, machine-washable arms. And with all this extra time at home, it might be nice to invest in a towel that will make you feel like you're staying at a fancy hotel. I've been looking for ways to turn my bathroom into a miniature spa, and Brooklinen's towels have been helping me find my zen. I have the towels. They're unbelievable. They dry you off great, but they genuinely make you feel good about showering at home. They make you feel you are wrapped up in a little bit of a hug. And all of us need a hug these days. We all need a little squeeze, and Brooklinen is there to do it. Times are weird, and I'm proud of myself for getting up and showering every morning like I have somewhere to be. And with Brooklinen towels that are in the bathroom to hold me in their softness, I feel like I can do anything. Here's a little working from home tip. It's perfectly fine to stay in your towel all day after you shower. These are towels you could stay in all day. I'll say that. They are beautiful, comfortable, plush, beautiful towels. Sometimes I'll just stay in my towel until I'm ready to shower again. That's how I'm living. That's called efficiency, people. And Brooklinen's towels not only make it possible, they make it comfortable. Brooklinen is the perfect place to find all the comforts for home, including ultra soft towels. They're so confident in their product that everything comes with a lifetime warranty. Use promo code JTRAIN. That's promo code JTRAIN for 10% off your first order at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLIE. Let me say that again. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Brooklinen.com, promo code JTRAIN. JTRAIN. Brooklinen, everything you need to live your most comfortable life. 10% off, code JTRAIN at brooklinen.com. Do you want to do one email and then we'll do some news?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's do... Why do guys think they're so funny? You ready?
Because we are.
Because we are. Dudes rule. I've been dating my boyfriend for a little over 8 months now, and things are going well. Cue the but. He is constantly using the same lines that used to be funny, but now are just annoying. For example, when we're texting and I tell him BRB, getting in the shower, every single time he responds with, "Where's my invite?" When I'm getting dressed, he sees my boobs and has to say something like "ooh" or "hi there." But if I turn around so he can't see them, he says, "What? It's not like I haven't seen you naked." That's annoying. Like, I just want to get dressed like a normal person without someone commenting on my body. Or if it comes up that I masturbated last week, he says, "What? Why didn't you tell me?" What? Why didn't you tell me? This guy sounds like a character. I could get on board with him.
He's like was some How I Met Your Mother situation.
He's like Rodney Dangerfield. What? Where was I when all the masturbating? It is a little bit. If you tell him you masturbated last week, you gotta kind of feel like something's coming back.
At this point, you knew this was going to happen with the topless and this and that.
Yeah, and she writes, "I feel bad because I don't even fake laugh anymore because honestly, it's not funny to me, and I don't want him to keep saying these things. I've even told him that I don't think it's funny, and sometimes I'm not in the mood for his jokes. I don't want to hurt his feelings, but it's driving me crazy lately, and I don't want to make a big deal of something that seems so small." Any thoughts? So, Shelby, do you have any thoughts?
I feel like this is like a... Like, did they say how long they've been seeing each other? Or am I...
8 months. And the thing is, she says he's using the same lines that used to be funny. So at some point, she found this fun, so he's only doing what he did before. I am this type of person. I am a jokester. I like to, if I see a boob, I'm going to make a boob comment. And obviously, the way she writes it here, you're like, oh, I don't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. If you're every time you're getting dressed like that, I can understand where she's coming from. But there is a thing where it's like he was like, this is what he feels got you to be with him. So he's continuing that. And I understand you're saying, and there's a point where you go, maybe you guys, you're not into his sense of humor. Maybe this isn't the type of guy you want to date. It could be more serious.
It sounds like when you make the jokes at first, it's like, oh wow, he's so into me. Like he's so comfortable. Like he's into me and he's making jokes, but like by the 8-month period, it's like he's kind of covering up for something else. When do you get serious?
I'm with you on that. There is a point where getting in the shower, where's my invite? I could see how that gets old. Especially when it's like, listen, dude, I'm going to the like everything's got to be about sex. Everything's got to be like, I agree with you. What is he covering up when he's doing these things?
We all want to have somebody into us, but at the same amount, we want to just be able to have somebody that we get naked in front of and fart in front of. Like, I'm going to be taking a lot of showers, buddy. Like, probably daily. So let's dial back the comments a bit.
And then it becomes, it's like, it's exhausting. And how would you want it said to you? She did say, I think getting mad isn't helpful. I think not laughing at it. I don't know. Like, there's a point where it's like, this to me is more not the match. More not the match than something you can tell him about. Because if you said it already and he's still doing it, then he doesn't like. You ever talk to someone who has the same conversation with you every time, and you're like, "Hey, are we even friends? Like, do we even talk?" Like,
Please.
I used to talk to this. My buddy used to date this girl who every time I saw her, she'd be like, "Ooh," to like, because I was wearing a Penn State hat, and I was like, "When does this end? When do you like?" We're past that at this point.
You know me by now. We've made the joke.
Made the joke. And listen, it's another thing to be like complimenting your body and saying how great you look, and that can take other forms. The joke can change. I think you've let him know, but if he keeps doing it, at this point, a turnoff is enough to move on.
And at some point, he's going to say the wrong joke. It's we've all done it. It's going to be weird. Just get serious.
Well, I think what you said is very important. Is he doing this to not actually talk? Is he doing this to fill the air in the conversation because you two have nothing else in common to talk about? You're at 8 months. Maybe you have gotten to the end of the line with things to talk about with this guy, and maybe it's time to move on.
Let's talk about taxes while you're both topless and his little penis is out. Like,
absolutely, yeah. Well, why don't you start doing jokes to him? Oh, look at that small nut, and see how he likes it. But I guess that
come on,
he might
say, "Hey, come on, that's a little much."
I mean, but then he would. I don't think he would be fun to do that game with.
No, he'd immediately do a 180 and be like the offended guy.
Yeah.
This is my bit.
Yeah, don't...
Like,
some people, when they can't turn it off, there's usually other issues there. And it's like, if you've already said something and he keeps going with it, it might be that you guys have nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Let's do... Shelby... Let's do it for old time's sakes. Let's do a couple news items. Is that okay?
Would love to.
At Classic Shelb on Twitter and Instagram. Hit us with the news.
So, the both of us, well over the age of 21, we can go into any liquor store, buy whatever we want. But some people, people underage, maybe 5-6 years underage, don't have the same luxury.
Sure. Remember those old days of sneaking it, trying to, hey, misters? Did you ever do a hey, mister?
I've been in a group where there was many hey, misters.
What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, I was never a fake ID person. They didn't believe me even with a real ID.
Sure.
So...
Especially with that new swoopy doo you got going on.
One Direction-esque.
Yeah. I used to, growing up, we'd go, hey, mister, can you go buy us a beer? And a guy would buy you beer. He'd go into the store and get it for you. And now looking back on that, I'm like, man, how crazy was that guy?
Yeah, well, what's in it for you, man? Even if there was $20-$40 being extra for him, like, what are you doing?
One time,
the trouble you could get yourself in is
one time I had a
way
guy,
worse.
We played a Hey Mister. We went and got this guy got us beer, and then he asked for a ride somewhere, and we were like, sorry, we got the beer in the back seat, and then we just drove away.
Oh, I didn't know there was going to be more to this transaction.
Yeah, I thought we were done at the $20. So what's going on?
Well, some teens have taken the mandatory face mask to their advantage and have been dressing up as old people.
So I have seen
with a mask.
I've seen these videos of them dressed up as old people, and the fact that anyone falls for this is insane. They're doing like the old people they dress up as are like central casting. They're like, "Hello, Sonny." Like I've been like
the walker with the tennis balls completely like. You're like it. This is a pandemic. You could die leaving your house. You're buying a bottle of Fireball, ma'am.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I don't think Nana is going for Aftershock or Everclear.
That weird whipped cream flavored vodka, something or other. Like,
yeah, can you imagine? What's your name? I'm Grammy O'Doyle, and I'll be having my White Claws, please. Like,
if a real old person who looked like that came into the liquor store, they'd be like, okay, we're gonna need to help this woman lift her thing to the register, or there's gonna be glass everywhere.
Yeah, and she's not getting. The single use shots of it is funny to see that old person coming in and getting, key lime pie vodka.
More than a thimble of anything in this store is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing here?
No, Nana's going to party. She's getting a case of White Claws and a handle of Tito's vodka. I'm just a big Tito's vodka fan at 85.
They're like leaning over too much, where it's like you're not like old. You look like you have spina bifida.
Yeah, no one at this age that they are claiming to be would ever be in a liquor store.
No.
We got more stories?
We do. Have you had indulged in a hot dog, maybe a bratwurst this summer?
I love a hot dog. I gotta say, I love a hot dog. I love a sausage. Bratwurst, I'm not as hot on, but I like a hot Italian sausage with peppers and onions. That is my go-to.
That does sound nice at a nice ball game right now.
Right? What do you got?
Did you check out the Nathan's hot dog eating contest though?
I didn't watch this year. So what happened this year?
So for years, like when it started out, it was just fat guys. They're like, this is like 100 years ago. Went on nearly 100 years of, it's an eating contest.
Yeah, now
have fat guys.
Now they're athletes,
and now they're a study. By the Royal Society of Biology or something, has figured out that now they're near like peak human ability when it comes to eating contests.
Oh, so they're like LeBron James, like their body is in sync with actual athletes.
Some sports science has been going on.
So they have figured out, well, this is what happens. This is what happens in all competition. That starts with the guy, like if you go watch old NBA, it's just the people who did it. Like old NBA basketball is like them walking around in circles and everyone's like 5'5", and then people are like, oh, athletes should do this. Like as time goes on, the more fit. It's Darwinism.
I look at videos of Jordan. I'm like, he is amazing, but he's being guarded by a lot of like dads.
Yeah, there's a few dads on the court, and it's like everything evolves. So like that's why You know, like if you watch, like that's why records get broken. Like Katie Ledecky, her swimming, that is an actual fish. That is an actual specimen of an athlete. And then she's got the milk on the head and she's doing the whole thing. You know, if you went and watched a swimmer 50 years ago, the swimmer would probably be like a little chubby, you know, not really in great shape. It's evolution. It always the better athletes get involved.
They're all hairy. They haven't learned to shave.
Yeah.
To be more aerodynamic. But by now, with the hot dog, like Joey Chestnut last month ate 84 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's
crazy.
That's his version of running a 9.640, 100 meters.
Sure. Yeah, that's actually absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we heard of Kobayashi in like late 90s, came over from Japan. He was just doing the dunking and ugly eating and setting all kinds of records. Now we're even farther past that. And like, who knows how many we could eat in the next 10 years.
If 10 years from now...
Have we leveled off?
I don't know. I don't know where this is going, but, you know, this is also the difference between the NBA when before people dunked and then when they dunked. Mm-hmm. You know, like dunking a basketball used to be unheard of. And then now everyone dunks. So, like, now 88 hot dogs. It's... As you push... this is athletics. This is how it goes.
Now they're dunking over a tractor. Before they were like,
that's right.
Wow.
Well, Shelby, thank you for bringing the news.
Thanks for having me.
Classic Shelb on Twitter and Instagram. Shelby, it was great to catch up. I'm so happy we did this.
It's been good to see you too.
Always a pleasure. Everyone go follow Shelby. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Monday and Thursdays. This was a very special episode. Let us know what you thought. Go join the Patreon, patreon.com/JaredFreid. We'll be back next episode. Boom. Don't forget to like the video you just watched. I have many more. Subscribe to the channel right now. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, you fool. There's even a bell you can click to. Now you've got your week set Monday through Friday. I'm here for you.